Hello everyone, I am extremely happy to welcome you all for my today's discussion. My topic of today's discussion is ion exchange chromatography. Myself, Dr. Priyadarshini. I am working as an assistant professor at Faculty of Pharmacy, BN University, Udaipur, Rajasthan. This video I have prepared for my students and for you all. And if you found it beneficial, please like my video and subscribe my channel. So the learner's outcome from this topic are introduction to ion exchange chromatography. Second point is principle of separation. Third is classification of resins. Point number 4 is instrumentation or practical requirements of ion exchange chromatography. Point number 5 is factors affecting ion exchange resin. And point number 6 is applications of ion exchange chromatography. Point number 1 is introduction. Introduction of ion exchange chromatography. Ion exchange chromatography, as the name itself says, it is a chromatographic technique. And what do you mean by chromatography? Chromatography is an advanced continuous technique of separation of mixtures of component into an individual component. And ion exchange chromatography or IEC is a process in which mixtures of similar charged ions are separated, and when the mixtures of similar charge ions are separated, they are separated by using ion exchanger, or you can also call it as ion exchange resin, where the exchanges of ion is been taken place according to their relative affinity. Now see, wherever there is an exchange of ion, how this exchange is possible? This is a reversible exchange similar to the similar charge ions. Like for example, this exchange is possible for cations and anions, and cations and anions can be very conveniently separated by this method. This ion exchange chromatography is a very useful technique for the separation of ionic substances and their derivatives such as inorganic and organic molecules, complex molecules like enzymes, polypeptides, proteins, nucleic acids, and hormones. This separation of ion exchange chromatography is a reversible process where the exchange of ions between the ions present in the solution and those present in the ion exchange resin is possible. Here, the separation is a reversible exchange, like wherever there are cations, the cation exchange resins are being utilized. Wherever there are anions, the anion exchange resins are being utilized for the proper separation of that ionic components. Okay, like for example, if we take cationic exchange, the separation of cation is usually taken place by cation exchange resin or cationic exchangers as the cation to be present in the solution. Whatever the sample we have to analyze, that sample is a component where the cations are being present, and the cationic exchange, or you can call it as a cation exchange resin, exchanges the similar charge ion from the solution to the cationic exchange resin, which is present in the solid matrix over here, and the exchange can be properly explained by this equation. See, like for example, the cationic exchanger is in complied with the solid H plus molecule, plus M plus is a component or ion present in the sample. Here this M plus is been replaced by this cationic exchange resin ion. Like for example, this M plus is gonna convert to solid M plus plus H plus ion. In the similar way, anion exchange is also been possible. Like in anionic exchange, similarly separations of anion using anion exchange resins can be carried out. Like the anions to be separated, they are present in the solution, and exchanges from the similar ions present in an anion exchange resin in a solid matrix. The exchange is represented by the same equation. Like solid OH minus plus A minus is going to convert from A minus to OH minus, and it will form solid A minus plus OH minus. Now, in the next point, I'll be explaining you in detail like cationic exchanger and anionic exchanger. See, this is a cationic exchanger stationary phase particle. In this stationary phase are negatively charged particles, and the functional group attached is positively charged. Here on the surface of this cationic exchanger, a bed is been present, and in that bed a functional group which comprises the charge, that is a positive ion over here. The sample which is having a positive charge ions are gonna replace by this group, and the separation has been possible. Here the replacement of positive ion present in the sample molecules are been taken place. Like for example, resin purolite has been utilized, carboxymethyl is utilized, and etc. In anionic exchanger, in the stationary phase resin are just positively charged, like same like cationic exchanger stationary phase particle. Now in this anionic stationary change particle, these resins are positively charged molecules, and on the surface of this anionic exchanger there is a bit which is having a functional group which is a negatively charged functional group, and here the negatively charged functional group is replaced by the negative charge ions which is present in the sample molecules. Like the anionic exchanger, like quaternary resins can be also utilized, and diethyl aminomethane are also being most commonly utilized in the anionic exchanger. Next point is classification of resins. Now in this ion exchange resin, this resin plays a most important role. So this classification of resin is an important part over here. So in this classification of resin, it is according to the chemical nature the resins have been classified. According to chemical nature, resins have been classified into four categories, that is strong cationic exchange resin, weak cationic exchange resin, strong anionic exchange resin, and weak anionic exchange resin. And according to the sources, they are again also been classified like natural source and synthetic. In natural source, cationic is zeolite, clay, and anions are dolomite. And in synthetic, inorganic and organic resins are been utilized. In organic resins, there is a combination of divinyl benzene as well as polystyrenes are most commonly been utilized. Second, next is functional group present in an ion exchange resin. Like for example, strong cationic exchange resin is having functional group like SO3H group. Weak cationic exchange resins are having a functional group like carboxylic acid group, hydroxyl groups, SH group, SO3H groups. Strong anionic exchange resins are having NR2 groups. Weak anionic exchange resins are again also having NHR groups, NH2 groups, and many more. Next is now according to the structure of ion exchange resin, again they are being classified. Like first is specular type of ion exchange resin. Second, this one is the first specular type of ion exchange resin. Second is porous resin with the exchangeable beads. Here is a second category. This is a porous resin coated with exchanger beads. Third is macro reticular resin bead. Macro reticular resin bead. And fourth one is surface sulfonated and bonded electrostatically with anionic exchanger. Okay, now one by one I'll be explaining you. First is specular type. In this specular type, the particle is having a size range of 30 to 40 microns and 1 to 2 micron film thickness is over here. Ion exchange film which is having 1 to 2 microns only, and there is a very low exchangeable capacity in this type. Second is a porous resin coated with exchanger beads. They are totally porous resin particle which is having size range from 5 to 10 microns, and they are highly effective types of ion exchange resin. Third category is macro reticular resin bead. In this macro reticular resin bead, a reticular network is seen superficially on a bead of this resin, and this is not at all a highly efficient, as well as the ion exchangeable capacity is also low. In the fourth category, surface sulfonated, the particles are sulfonated and they are bonded with electrostatically anion exchanger resins only. And they are also not highly efficient, and exchangeable capacity in the fourth category is also very low. Next point of discussion is the instrumentation of ion exchange chromatography. The instrumentation of ion exchange chromatography comprises the following points, like the column material and dimensions, type of ion exchange resin, and physical characteristics. Like the selection of ion depends upon the type of ion exchange resin used for the separation, like cation or anion, nature of the ions to be utilized for the separation, like strong or weak, or exchangeable capacity of the resin. Now it depends upon the exchangeable capacity of the functional group which is present in the exchangeable capacity from the sample to the resin. Then it can be depend upon the particle size, like 50 to 100 mesh or 100 to 200 mesh particles can be utilized. Then structural types of resin like peculiar, you can also be utilized porous, specular, macroreticular resin, as well as the swelling factor. It depends upon the cross linking of that particular resin with the sample. And third point is packing of column. In the third point, like packing of the column, weight packing method is been utilized, where the resin is mixed properly in the mobile phase and it is packed uniformly in the column, and the sample which has to be analyzed has to be mixed with the mobile phase properly, and at once only it has to be introduced in the column for the separation. Next point is fourth point, that is mobile phase. Like organic solvents of different strengths of acids, alkalis, and buffer solutions can be utilized. For example, zero point 0.1 normal HCl or 1 normal HCl, acetate buffers, phthalate buffers, phosphate buffers, etc. are being utilized as in a mobile phase over here. Development, point number fifth is development of chromatogram and illusion. Now, in this point, the chromatogram can be developed by the different methods, by different mobile phase, like combinations of various mobile phase. As organic solvents are less useful, only acid buffer solutions on acids and alkalis of different strengths are being utilized. And the illusion has been possible by isocratic technique or by gradient technique. Isocratic means only single mobile phase is utilized, and gradient means depending upon the requirement, binary tertiary gradient can be also been utilized for the illusion. In analysis of illusion, different fractions with respect to time, volume has to be collected, and depending upon the utilizability of that analysis, the sample has to be undergone with the different advanced methods, like you can go for the spectrophotometric method, colorimetric method, conductometric method for the analysis. And seventh point is regeneration of ion exchange resin. As these ion exchange resins are very much costly, once it has been utilized for the exchangeable capacity from the sample to the resin, the functional group is lost over here. And for the reutility, as like we are doing in different methods of chromatography, activation of that particular technique, here also the regeneration or activation of that exchanging resin can be done by attaching the functional groups over here, and it has been reutilized. Next point is factors affecting ion exchange resin. Now here resin plays a most important role. So what are the various factors that affect the ion exchange resin? See, now depending upon the nature and property of ion exchange resin, the exchange of cross linking and swelling factor here plays a most important role. Like cross linking and swelling are the important factors, as the optimum quantity of cross linking only should be added to the polymeric ion exchange resin for the effective separation. Okay, whenever it has been required for the proper kind of separation, a proper amount of quantity is only added for the cross linking and swelling property of the resin. And second point is nature of ion exchange, exchanging ions. Here in the case of exchanging ions, what are the most important points? Like valency of ions, size of ions, polarizability of ions, and concentration of solutions with the concentration of charge of ions over here. This plays a most important role. Next point is applications of ion exchange chromatography. This ion exchange chromatography is a very useful technique for the softening of water, then demineralization and deionization of water, purification of some solutions to be free from ionic impurities. Like separation of inorganic ions also can be very much easily possible by this method, as well as organic separations can be done. With that, it is useful for biochemical separations. And apart from this, there are many more applications of ion exchange resins, but most important I have mentioned over here. And thank you very much everyone for your kind attention. And if you have any doubts or any questions, please write to me in the comment box. And as soon as I have seen your queries and question, I'll reply you at the very much earliest. So thank you very much, and thanks a lot.